I want to prosper. I want to prosper. I want to prosper. I want to prosper. Hey, Prosper Nation, it's me, Dennis, and welcome to another edition of eCommerce Stories Philippines edition. And looking forward to sharing this story. It's going to be a good one. We've got Miss Che of shopdwellbeing.com. Hey, Miss Che, ¿cómo está?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me, and hello to everyone watching and listening.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, great seeing you as well. And love your background. It looks so homey, warm, and it looks like you've got some great stuff to share with us today. So why don't we go ahead and jump in? Tell us, what is shopdwellbeing.com?
Dwellbeing is actually a social enterprise. We advocate upcycling, so you can see the bottles behind me. These or discarded bottles. So yung mga tinapon. So you have here the wine bottle, the gin bottle, you have here Jack Daniels, and the small one here, the candle, is made from a ketchup bottle. So whatever is thrown out, we get them and then we upcycle them. We turn it into something beautiful and useful. We are also about empowering communities. So everything that you see behind me are produced by community folks. So we partner with communities here in the Philippines, and then we work with them as a source of their livelihood. And then for every purchase that you make from Dwellbeing, we give back. So we're also about giving. So we work with Project Pearls. Is an NGO. They are based in Smoky Mountain in Tondo. So in Smoky Mountain, they have they are hungry there. So they eat pagpag. Pagpag are leftovers from fast foods. So the garbage collector, they collect them. And then instead of throwing them, they sell it. Actually, they sell it to the people of Tondo, and then they recook it, and then that's what they eat. So it's really not a sight to behold. So Project Pearls set up a soup kitchen there so that every day people there will be able to get nutritious meals. So a portion of our gross sales from the products behind me goes to supporting family meals of Project Pearls. So we produce functional everyday items for your home and your well-being. So we have all natural products. We also have home decors, all guided by environmental kindness. We all use discarded and turn it into something useful. And we really support community and marginalized folks. Marginalized folks, for everyone's information, we are a deaf-driven company. So aside from me and my partner Joy, we're the only ones hearing, but the rest of our team are all deaf. So that's us. That's Dwellbeing. And thank you, Dennis, for inviting me to share our story.
That's awesome. So you got a big story there. Now, first and foremost, social enterprise. That's the thing that stands out. And honestly, before I saw your products, you give that social enterprise aura yourself. So obviously you have some great products. We'll talk about those, but I'd love to start with how you got into this social enterprise type of business mission.
I have been in corporate for the longest time. And I think what was missing was, when you're in corporate, you get up in the morning, you take a shower, you go to work, you do the things that needs to be done, you go home, and then that's it. So there was no sense of fulfillment, I guess. And then the COVID happened, pandemic happened. So that's when everybody was locked down. And then you kind of have this aha moment na, okay, so my company, let's say for example, the company I used to work with had to retrench a lot of people. So I kind of realized we're just employees lang tayo. An employee number on someone's list. Diba? So what if you get retrenched? What happens to you? Diba? What happens to all the work that you've done? And then during the pandemic, I saw and watched the story of, I don't know if I'm sure you know him, but I don't know if you know that he has a foundation, Bon Jovi. He has
Yeah.
he has JBJ Soul Food Foundation. So from that story, it kind of made me realize I want to do something like this, but I don't know what. But it's actually using the business as a force for good, not only on one angle but on different angles that you look as you look into the story. So it's really more like that, and then the idea started now from there. It was just what can I do, do I go back to corporate, because I left my job then because I had a burnout talaga. So I left my job, so there was a crossroad for me. Parang, do I go back to corporate and do all these things again, or do I do something that gives me purpose? So I
Yeah.
think that was the road less traveled. But for me, it became my heart and soul. So it really started as a passion project. I really didn't know it was going to work or not. Because remember, at the time of pandemic, everyone was clean freak. Like, everything needs to be clean, everything needs to be
Yeah.
sanitized. And now I'm here selling, using all of these discarded bottles. And then so I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it will be embraced or it will be accepted. But I said it's worth giving a try. So it started as a passion project. And then um God willing, maybe he put me here for this reason. And that's how we started, and now how we've grown also over the past 2 years.
Well, you seem like a natural fit for social enterprise and, paying attention to detail because all your products don't look recycled at all. So it's amazing. Now let's go back to your background. Or what kind of corporate role did you have? What's your formal, expertise and training in?
Uh, was ever since since I started working, no, I have been in retail merchandising. So
Okay.
that is really my strength. So retail merchandising, and I'm blessed to have worked with one of the best, in the company, in the country. So as you can see, retail merchandising is about product development. It's about branding. It's about telling a story. It's about display. It's about profit and margin. It's merchandising, it's retailing. So that's my background. And my love for product development started early on, when I was with this company then, because it was my first job and it was also my last.
That's cool. I kind of have a similar background. I grew up in a family of retail entrepreneurs and merchandising. And I think, that is a part of a business that you have lots of talented people because, like you just explained, you have to learn and know so many things. And I can see, without you yet showcasing really your products, that it comes out, your experience comes out. And I think a lot of people who want to go online, get into e-commerce or transition from traditional to e-commerce or multi-channel, and even those that are still in traditional, it seems like they miss that merchandising skill and muscle a lot. It's just like, oh, let's just get some products, throw it out there,
Yeah.
and just throw a price tag and see what happens.
Yes. Yeah, it takes more than that, actually. Um, Attention to detail is very, very important. You have to tell a story through your product. It's not just like a bottle and then you open it and then what? Because it will not have a recall. So
Well,
if
let's drill into that because I think that's where our community can learn a lot from you on. If you first don't mind me saying about your products, I'm like, I had no idea that the bottles and stuff came from wine and Jack Daniels. I was like, oh wow, you know, I think people drink a lot. So great source for you. And what a wonderful idea to convert it. So my first question is, to help our, you know, uh, our globe and Earth, I mean, I don't know, where can people send or where do you get those bottles so people can send and contribute to this cause?
Yeah. At first, we just started from our backyard because my family is a family of drinkers. I don't drink, but my family does. So there's just a lot of bottles scattered in the house. And then again, no, I think it's a skill, no? So when I looked at these bottles, sabi ko, sayang naman, you're gonna throw this. Tapos The inspiration comes actually from the shape of the bottle. That's where the
Okay.
inspiration comes. So when I look at the shape of the bottle, oh, this one has potential. So why do you throw it? So it really started from there. And then syempre, we can't drink too much naman to support the business. So we look for a community that gathers all these discarded bottles from hotels and restaurants here in Manila. So
Okay.
they are aggregators, so they collect, sila yung nagko-collect for us, and then they wash it, and then they sell it to us. So that's one community that we're helping, no. So these are not from trash. These are not from junk stores. No, they're not from there. They are actually clean kasi first-hand use yan eh. So it's like from that sa bahay. When you drink it, you throw it, diba? Sometimes it doesn't even touch your mouth, diba? In restaurants, they just use it to mix. So it's very clean. Actually, malinis na malinis yan. And then they just put it all in a sack. Tapos that's what we collect. And then we wash it. So malinis talaga lahat yan. So we don't get from just to, I had this question then before, no? We don't accept from junk shops. We don't accept from basura. It really has to be clean then. The source has to be clean. Kasi
Okay.
again, these are personal care products, so we have to make sure it's clean. And then we re-sanitize it. We wash it again.
I see. My first thought is, wow, what if you could get everybody to contribute? But it seems like, again, there's a lot more science to this. And, you're getting supply from commercial aggregators, right? And they have an actual process, right? So, okay, that's cool. That makes sense. So now, what about merchandising? Tell us more. How does do you start with the story? Do you start with the product? Do you start with the market? Like in merchandising, where do you begin?
It starts actually with the product, yung pinaka-base. So for example, ours is soap and all natural soap, all natural liquid soap. So it really starts from there. But the soap also started because we work with the community in Bacolod. So these are community farmers, no? They're community farmers. They harvest lemongrass, and they have the technology to turn it into lemongrass essential oil. So that was the pinaka base that's how it all started eh. So we started with, okay, we have essential oil, what do we do with it? So pinaka simple is liquid soap because that's what you use every day. And it was the pandemic at that time. So everybody was using hand wash, and my son kasi has severe eczema and rhinitis. So I had a friend who does formulation. I said, can you do something for me? Kasi my son nga, and you keep washing your hands, diba, during the pandemic, nagsusugat-sugat na yung hands and nagda-dry. I said, can you formulate something for me that, that's all natural, para hindi magsugat-sugat yung hands niya? Kasi nga, it was the pandemic. We kept washing our hands, diba? So she formulated the first hand soap that we had, and it was good. So nung pumasa siya sa anak ko, I thought, we have something here. So that's when the idea started. And then the next question was, okay, what about the packaging? Where do I put the soap? The merchandising comes in because, do you want to use regular bottles? Yung mga what's available? Kasi you have a lot of options eh. And then, or what other packaging will you use? So that's when the idea and research starts. So is there a way that I can be sustainable? Well, sustainable, you use glass, diba? That's the usual route. They use glass or use the recyclable pouches. But I was thinking na, when you do merchandising, you have to always think what will set me apart. Diba? If you're doing all this stuff, everyone is doing, then you're just one among the many. So what is that thing that will set us apart? So that was when I went to the garage of my dad and I saw all these bottles there, and then ting, why don't we use all these discarded bottles? And the shapes are nice talaga. The Santoris, diba? The Jack Daniels. Maganda yung
Oh,
shape
those
nila
are
eh,
those are
diba?
premium shapes.
Diba? Diba? Ang ganda ng shapes nila eh. So, yun, that's where the idea is. What if I use, discarded bottles? Yun, that's talagang sustainable yan kasi you're using something na tinapon talaga eh. And then, after that, how can I turn it into something nice? So that's, again, merchandising, diba? You have what makes you unique. Number 2, recall. How do you make people remember you? 'Diba? So that's when the design comes in. It's not just an ordinary bottle, kasi syempre, ordinary bottle, tatapon lang naman nila yan eh. But usually people appreciate when the bottle is nice in their bathroom or di ba, sa office nila. Ang ganda naman ng bottle na to. Iwan na lang natin to, refill na lang natin. So I think that was the second question that I tried to answer. So if you look at our bottles, no, it's really something na ayaw mo rin itapon kasi you're gonna add trash na naman. So, di ba? So the only thing that I can do is make it nice para mahaba yung ma-extend yung life ng bottle. They can refill if they want. But it will look nice in your bathroom, in your office. The disinfectant is from soju, so it looks nice on your office table. So these are the things, the components. Of course, the last, the pricing. The pricing. How do I compete? I had to do my market research. How much are people selling it? Diba? But remember, I have a different component. I have the environmental component, I have the empowering component, and I have the giving back component. So I will not survive if I will try to compete with the Shopee's seller that's selling it so low, diba? So the story has to stand out for people to realize that, hey, a little higher is okay, but at least I'm doing a lot of things for in just one purchase, diba? I help the environment, I support communities, and I give meals to hungry people. So it's not naman super layo the price, no. It's really it's actually competitive siya, eh. Competitive naman siya. But syempre, it's not as low as the ones that you see in, the Shopees. Yun, and of course, all natural din siya, so it's also good for your well-being. So again, my son used this kasi my son had the condition and it worked for him. So we just produced more of it. So lahat yan, ang practice ko dyan, if it's not good for my son, then it's not good.
That's cool. Well, yeah, I think, a lot of success stories, and yours sounds like one of them, has a really strong personal connection. And then that gets exuded through your product, which gets then connected to your customer. But basically, if I heard you right, just to summarize, some of your key steps to the merchandising success, it starts with your product, and then packaging. Well,
Yes.
you use packaging to make yourself stand out and be different, right?
Yes.
To have a unique differentiator from your customer. And then, you talk about pricing. That's very difficult because when I look at your products, they look premium, and you're right. The price is not like it's like, oh,
Yes.
it's actually surprising. So I just want to be straightforward. you know, can you make money in a successful business enough to contribute to society, to contribute to Mother Earth, and give people jobs and, make a little profit? Can that really work?
Yes. 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 Yes, the answer is yes. A big yes, yes. But of course, syempre, kasi it's subjective, a profit is subjective, no? So for us, it's just profit, for us to keep the business afloat and to help more people. Hindi naman siya yung super, super like laki. We'll get there, but it's very important that we don't lose track then. It's all profit, no? Profit is good, but you have to give it back again to the
But
to the to the to the cycle. So the more people you help, the more blessings will come, and will lead to profit then. But yes, you can. So I think a lot of social enterprise also globally, are able to do this. But of course, syempre, profit is secondary.
wow, that is an amazing business leader like you. So, but it's just so it's just kind of, your products are so nice, and you're giving so much back. It's amazing. I think it's an amazing feat of business if you can also give back, have a great quality, and make some profit, right? Because if you create a great product, people are going to keep buying from you, and over time it will come back.
Yes. And I think it's also important for them to see where it's going. So if you look at our social media pages, it's always there. We do an impact report at the end of the year,
Wow.
where the purchase went. So in the 2 years that we've been in existence, so it's all there. So we've already upcycled 20,000 plus bottles.
Whoa.
We've already provided 10,000 plus family meals to our partner NGO, Project Pearls. And this, we have also expanded the feeding program from Tondo to two more communities. So we have one in Bulacan and one in Cavite. This is all care of Project Pearls. And then we have already upcycled 5,000 paper we use as wrapper. And then from one community partner, we have already grown to 10. So this is where we are now, 2 years into the business. So we're very, very thankful also for the opportunities that's coming our way. And there are more knocking, but of course, I have to take some time also to think, what products can we make? Ganun pa rin. It's still that cycle. Ano yung pwedeng gawin? What makes it different? What makes it pretty? How do we turn it into something unique? So it's that cycle, but it takes time to do the product development on my end. It takes so much time.
Yeah. Well, forget about those profits. I mean, those metrics of impact are amazing. That is what is cool. I'm going to look for your impact report. And in fact, I'm going to check it out and see how Prosperna can play a role, because that's something that I've always wanted to do.
Yes.
Not a lot of tech companies put that in their focus, but we have so much potential to give back that
Yes.
you just kind of get lost sometimes on where and how and who's legit and if there's a real connection. So I'd love to talk about that with you later
Yes.
online, and maybe that could be another episode
Yes,
too.
we'd be happy. We'd be happy. So all the corporate partners that we have, it's not only us actually. We bring the whole community with us. So if there are some corporate partners who need, for example, a skill set that they need for something, then we always endorse them. And then of course there's Project Pearls, the main NGO beneficiary for the food hunger relief. If anyone wants to make a donation, we'd be happy to connect you with Project Pearls. So it's a lot of people that we help. So kahit anong avenue, just let us know.
Well, let's drill into that aspect for a little bit. Helping hearing impaired people with careers. I always get touched whenever I see your social media posts and you are practicing, and I
Yes.
have to say, I'm a weird person. I'm not really on TikTok so much, but I'm sitting there starting to try to do what you do. And yeah, I'm like, what am I doing? It's contagious. So about how you got into helping the hearing impaired.
Okay. So the main anchor, kumbaga, if there's a quote that's always in my head, no. Whenever for all the decisions that I make, it's always use the business as a force for good. That's the Body Shop's founder vision niya, si Anita Roddick. Business as a force for good. So in all the aspects, when I needed people for my team, my question was, how do I be a force for good? Diba? So I was looking at, the landscape, diba? Sino ba yung mga nangailangan ng trabaho talaga? Of course, we have a lot of hearing are people like us, no? Pero sino yung talagang hindi napapansin and walang opportunities for them? It's actually the deaf and PWDs actually. So when I was looking into this, sabi ko when I was starting out, I really want to hire deaf. Wala pa ako nung connections ako pa lang nun eh. It was just myself and my husband. Kami pa lang nun. And my son helping out. So that was the goal. And then for some reason, siguro last year, 1.5 years ago, an opportunity came. One of my customers, had a foundation. Pero hindi sa kanya, parang she knows this foundation who works with deaf, and they help find jobs for the deaf. So she connected me with Hand and Heart. It's called Hand and Heart. And Hand and Heart, I spoke to them and I said, I am interested in employing deaf. So that's where it all started. If you hear the stories of my team, no, I would just like to share for everyone to know. A lot of them are if a lot of them are out of job because they are deaf. Because people find it parang a disadvantage. How can you hire deaf when they cannot speak and they cannot hear? Ano papagawa mo sa kanila, 'di ba? So and two of my staff are CSB graduates, ha. They are college graduates with degree, but they couldn't find jobs. One was out of job for 3 years. The other one, tagal na rin, wala rin work. So they had to do all this training in TESDA, to learn housekeeping. Pero sabi ko, sayang naman all the education that, the parents invested in only to find another route to do housekeeping.
Oh my gosh.
Diba? Sayang, and these are graduates, college graduates. So I said, okay, again, force for good, diba? So I took them in. And the pay is higher than what they used to get. But I'm telling you, I keep telling everyone talaga if I had the opportunity. I'm so proud of our deaf staff, of our deaf team. They are family to me. I learned a lot aside from sign language. I learned a lot because they are the most dedicated and they are the most patient and talagang they are so focused on their work. When it's work time, it's work time. They finish everything, lahat pulido, and they have initiative then. So I think because for the longest time, they have been marginalized and they have been out of work. So when someone gives an opportunity, they really make sure they deliver. I think that is one key takeaway from my experience with working with communities then also and marginalized folks. Siguro if there's one thing I want to expand, no, it's going to be PWDs naman. Because there are some PWDs naman, they can work naman with their hands, diba? It's still useful. So I think that is along somewhere down the road will also have everyone here.
Wow. Well, Prosper Nation, that is such a touching story. I didn't know. I thought because you look really good at signing, so you didn't know how to sign and you just
No, I learned from them because I have to learn. Otherwise, it will be very hard for me. But again, it's not for me, ha. It's not something. It's not a disadvantage because deaf can write and read. So no umpisa, it was just you just have to have a lot of paper and pen everywhere because they can read and write. So that's how we communicate. And then eventually, syempre, I learned the rin and they teach me. And so now I know na, but not a lot, just the basic ones. The two, the daily communication, the ones that we produce in the videos.
well,
So
here you are, corporate executive, merchandising guru, business extraordinaire, and they're teaching you stuff about
yes, and
patience and
I
signing
like
and
it.
focus. That's wow, that's just really cool. So you've got a whole lot of good stuff. And I think that's, you've got such that, giving, and I'm sure that's why you get a lot of success in return. So let's talk and shift a little bit about, the social enterprise. You've got, where you're giving opportunities to hearing impaired, you're recycling. Let's talk about the digital side. Were you guys always 100% digital, or were you guys retail, then digital? And where are you at now? That would be great if you could share.
Yes, right now we're digital. So we're only available online. Well, there's Simula, no, a partner marketplace. They have a store in Glorieta, but they just carry a few of our line. Um, we would want to expand, of course, to have an offline presence, meaning we have a pop-up store because a lot of people are asking already if we have a pop-up store. So we're not there yet. But we do have plans of rolling out pop-up stores in partnership with Cultura of SM sometime in March. Just to try it out. Right now, we're available only online, via shopdwellbeing.com and Instagram. So and we are thriving there. So we do hope to have offline stores, but again, we have to go back to the numbers first.
Yeah, you got to figure out your business model because you have so many factors at play.
Yes.
And I appreciate you being upfront and honest about the big elephant in the room, which is having to pay, commissions if you want to get, a position in a big mall, right? Because that's, every day you can't avoid that. What are the commissions like these days? Like,
Mataas siya. Off the record ba to?
you didn't mention any names, but just
Off the
generally.
record ba to? No, but for partner stores, no, I mean, not only sa malls, but yung mga partner stores kasi there are a lot of mga small stores din, di ba? Na you can consign there. It's roughly around 30. Some will go as high as 40. Ganun siya kataas.
What?
Kaya, di ba?
Oh
So
my
how can you
God.
survive? It's either that or you jack up your price very high, which won't make it affordable. And it it wala, the essence of the advocacy disappears already. Kasi, ayan na yun, you become profit-based, yan na yun, you become profit-based, you become, everything is number-based na eh. So, the heart parang mawawala siya. So, we have to find that balance. Kasi 30, 40 is a lot, ha?
Yeah. And like many entrepreneurs, but I'm curious, I'm not sure what your situation is, and you can avoid this question if you want, but are you guys bootstrapped and self-funded or
Yes, yes, we are.
wow,
So, yes,
wow.
we are. It's just me and Joy.
Two of the hardest working ladies in e-commerce
Yes,
building
we are.
business
So, we have
models.
to be conscious then of, to make sure that everything is efficient. All the numbers are there. So we have to be careful then with the next steps. Kasi the commission fees of it's very high, ah. Parang
Yeah.
doon pa lang saan mo kukunin yun, di ba?
Exactly. Well, maybe that's a good segue. I don't know if that's the biggest challenge, but so far in your journey, like, because how long have you guys been in business?
2 years.
2 years. So, um, the first year is a huge milestone because, more than half the businesses go out of business in their first year. And it seems like you're doing something really good. But, in the 2 years, what are the biggest, what's the biggest challenge that you guys have faced and how did you overcome it?
When we were starting out, one of the challenges was really working with the communities. I keep saying this, kasi, sometimes people have this idea na when it's a social enterprise, medyo charity siya. Actually, it's not. It's a business. So, when we were working with communities, may iba talaga dyan. Siyempre, the profile of the communities that we work with, some of them were former garbage collectors. Some of them are just, housewives in the slums area. You give them skill set by training them. So, for example, sewing. So again, just to give you a perspective, who we are working with, no? So they have no business acumen. So don't expect them to
Mm.
understand na there's cost involved kapag mali yung tahi niya. There's
Oh
a
my
cost
gosh.
involved kapag may mali siyang ginawa. They don't understand that. Basta sila, they understand, I come in, I do my work, I get paid, I go. I think that is one of the biggest challenge. Kasi when we were starting out talaga, there were so many rejects talaga. Kasi syempre, learning curve, nag-uumpisa pa lang eh. There were so many rejects that we had to shoulder. But then there will come a point na, teka lang, are we a business or are we charity? Diba? So we're not charity. We're a business. So we had to share with them, if you guys want to make this sustainable and
Mm.
scalable, then you have to think, no, magkaroon naman kayo ng malasakit,
Yeah.
empathy to the people who are helping you. Diba? So before kasi parang we don't charge them for mga rejects. Pero when we started charging them, because we want them accountable, because we are a business, the training starts there. Once they know na, ay, pag nagkamali ako, to charge to sa akin, then they will be more intentional when they do something. Mas maingat na sila. So, when we started doing that process na, you have to be accountable for what you do because we have to make sure that our quality is consistent, what we do is maayos, and our deadlines are met. That's the time when they started having a different perspective na rin. So, naging scalable na siya. But at first, it was very, very hard. Kasi nga, yun nga, we had to make them understand, hoy, hindi kami charity. Diba? We are a business.
Wow. That is a huge, oh my God, that probably, made it very difficult to sleep at night. And
Yeah, mahirap talaga.
how
Parang
do
there was
you,
a point na parang I was asking myself, why don't I just pagawa ko na lang to sa commercial producer, di ba? Pagawa ko na lang to, I wouldn't have this headache or I wouldn't have this issue and this challenge kasi syempre the commercial manufacturers magaling na yan eh, di ba? Alam na nila yan, they can produce like volume talaga eh. But the committee what we're helping it talagang gapang talaga eh. But again, the intention is not that, the commercial, di ba? The intention is to help. So I always have to recenter my intention to the advocacy being a force for good. So tsatsagain ko ba to? I just look for a commercial ano na lang. But then if you see kasi the purpose and the impact of what you're doing to their lives, I think you will choose the latter also.
well, that purpose of making an impact must be extremely strong for you and your team because I don't know what I would have done, right? Facing those kinds of challenges, right? And because you're upfront investing the money, right, to create this ecosystem. So, wow, I hats off to you. I mean, do you consider yourself a patient person?
No.
Well, that means
No.
that
But again, parang it all, ano rin eh, it all comes back to the heart eh, di ba? What's your intention? So, parang tsatsagain ko ba to? Or, I'll call it a day na lang. Pero yun nga, if you see kasi their living condition, parang you just have to pray for patience. I think yun na lang talaga eh. And then, somewhere along the way, naayos na siya.
well, again, I'm just extremely touched and inspired by what you guys are doing and who you guys are as people, as business community leaders. That's we have a lot to look up to for you guys. So last, for all those social enterprises out there, right? Because I don't know if it's just in popularity, but I see more of them growing. Is there a single piece of advice that you would like to share with them so that maybe there could be more successful social enterprises?
I think the most important thing, no, is really the roots. The roots. Where your business is rooted. Is it really to help or is it really to make profit? Dalawa lang naman yun, di ba? So, kasi you can do both naman. Pero syempre, there will come a time na you will have to choose pag may dating sa crossroads. So, I think you have to stay true to what your goal is, your advocacy. And then you don't have to force fit yourself, to something that you are not. So we are not in Lazada and we are not in Shopee. It was a conscious decision that we made because everyone's there, di ba? But we felt that the brand and of course too much plastic bubble wrap is required there. So
Yeah.
being a sustainable company, we don't want that also. We felt now there has to be a different avenue where we can carve out our niche. Diba? So that's where we found Instagram and that's where we built the business. And I think ang pinaka-important, no, the roots talaga of this one, is you don't have to force fit because if you force fit, the authenticity will not be there. Parang imagine if we force fit ourselves in Shopee and we use all this bubble wrap. You can just imagine the customers that we have who are very conscious in terms of sustainability. Magagalit sila, di ba? You're sustainable and you're using all this bubble wrap. So ano siya, it contradicts who we are. So we make a conscious decision. We're not gonna be there. We're gonna be in another avenue. We're going against the tide. We're also not in TikTok. It's just really Instagram. But I think the best weapon that we have are our products and our story. Every time a customer opens our product, we have the meal card, we have the advocacy card to tell us who we are and what we stand for, and the number of donations that the product makes, no? And from there, it's a multiplier effect na. So kumbaga, they get a piece of my heart in every product that they get, and I hope that communicates with them through the packaging, through the story, through the branding, and of course, through great products. I think pinaka-importante na you should have great products, even if all these stuff are there and you don't have a great product, then it's not going to last also. And you don't have to force fit. And I think very important for business owners, you really have to do the dirty work. A lot of us, utos lang, di ba? Oh, I have something. Oh, you do this, you do that, you do this. You really have to do the dirty work for you to understand. Kumbaga, sa bahay mo, you lay the foundation, so you have to do the dirty work. We had to go to Tondo, to Smoky Mountain, and see for ourselves the way people live there. And you get this realization that what we're doing is not enough. It's not enough. So how do we do more products and help more people? When you do the product, yeah, don't forget, don't be scared to wash the dirty bottles, alam mo yung mga ganon. So you really have to do this stuff for you to be able to embrace your brand. Kasi if it's all utos-utos lang, then it's gonna be half-baked. It's gonna be half. I'm sure for Prosperna, you did everything yourself too, diba? The heart and soul. Iba yun kapag yung heart and soul of the owner is in the brand itself and in all the products that you do. Parang a piece of me is here in the bottles. Yun.
That's
So I think those are the key takeaways. Very important because these are the things that will set you apart. That will set you apart. That will have brand recall. It's the story that you tell. It's not just a story, yeah. It's the authenticity of the story. Because if you have a story to tell, but it's not authentic or people don't feel it, or they don't feel the passion, then wala rin. It won't make an impact.
Yeah. Well, you guys have beautiful products, amazing premium like quality with surprisingly affordable prices. So it's impressive on what you guys have done. So, well, listen, awesome advice for the other social entrepreneurs. Thank you for joining us at eCommerce Stories, Philippines Editions. Prosper Nation, that's Miss Che of Dwellbeing. Check them out. We wish you so much more success in building a sustainable business and an amazing community. Thanks, Miss Chet, for joining us.
Thank you. This is how you sign. Thank you. See you next time.
Do it again. How? How is it?
Um, thank you is how you say this. Thank you. See you next time.
Next. Love it. Awesome. Thanks again. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. Hey, Prosper Nation. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Prosperna e-commerce stories, where we learn and share success stories of e-commerce businesses and leaders. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. My name is Dennis Velasco, founder and CEO of Prosperna. See ya.